Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's SEMO Conference Tournament. It's night 2, game 4. Before we begin, would you please rise for the playing of our national anthem? And now our starting lineups. First, for the Indians of Jackson, they will be our guests on the scoreboard this evening. At 6'1", sophomore, number 11, Quinn Scott. Senior at 6'5", number 14, Lane Crowden. At 6'5", sophomore, number 22, Nick Wazalewski. At 6'3", senior, number 23, Luke Reynolds. And number 33, 6'8", freshman, Clayton Ernst. The Jackson Indians are coached by head coach Darren Scott. And now, starting lineup for your Sikeston Bulldogs. Wearing number 2, a senior at 6 foot, Peyton Howard. Number 4, a junior, 6'1", Lontez McClinton. Wearing number 22, a junior at 6 foot, Leroy Atkins. At 6 foot, a senior, number 25, Colby Henson. And finally, 6'4", senior, number 40, Clark Stewart. The Sikeston Bulldogs are coached by Greg Hollyfield, Brian James, Chris Sarakis, Derek James, and Will Hollifield. Tonight's officials for this game, Joe Bill Davis, Sammy Lawson, and Jerry Dement.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to night number 2. It's the 4th game of the 2019 SEMO Conference Basketball Tournament here from the Sikeston Fieldhouse. I'm Chris Hotchkiss alongside Marty Williams. We'll be bringing you all the action in this 4-5 matchup. It's the Bulldogs taking on the Indians. Both of these teams come in with a 1-0 record on the season and a 3 to open scoring by the 6'1" sophomore Quinn Scott of Jackson.
They gave him a pretty easy look there, Chris.
And we're going to get a foul up top, a little too aggressive there on Lane Crowden. That's his first. Crowden did not play as a senior, did not play last year. I don't think he played his sophomore year either. I wouldn't swear to that, but is a very good baseball player for Jackson as Clark Stewart with the drive with the left hand gets the first point of the game for the Bulldogs.
Clark can use either hand going to the board.
He can. Jackson didn't have any problem with that 2-2-1 full court press of the Bulldogs. It's like Sikeston's extending out a little bit more on this half court set against the Indians after they knocked down that first 3. First round action here, SEMO Conference Tournament. Crowden, a drive in, lays it up and in, and we're going to get a charge. Montez McClinton is going to draw the charge. So wave the basket. That's going to be 2 on Crowden, so he's going to have to come out. That's a big call right there for Coach Darren Scott. Losing Crowden already. Just over a minute gone in this first quarter, and he picked up his second foul.
McClinton did an excellent job of getting position there.
3 ball by Peyton Howard off the mark. Follow wouldn't go by McClinton. Third opportunity finally goes. Sikeston takes their first lead of the game, 4-3. About a minute and a half gone here. First quarter action. Glad you're with us on the SPS YouTube, Sikeston YouTube. We'll be bringing you each and every game of this tournament. We'd like for you to come out and support these student athletes, but if you can't make it, you can tune in right here. We do have the email address up tonight, and it should be up in the upper right-hand corner of your screen as Leroy Atkins hits a deep 3. If you want to shoot us an email, myself or Marty, let us know where you're watching from, or if you got a question, we like to interact with those folks that are enjoying the games. We'd like to hear from you. The Bulldog defense forces another turnover. Got our first email of the night from Justin Tanner. He's watching from down in the Memphis area. He's ready for another Bulldog basketball season. Justin, a big supporter of the Bulldogs. Deep range 3, a little short by Kobe Henson. Sikeston leads at 7-3. Tipped out of bounds by Peyton Howard. It'll stay with the Indians. Kenyon Smith, the check-in for his first action, along with Nick Harrison for the Bulldogs. Luke Reynolds inbounds it just below us. We're up here in the crow's nest. Little turnaround jumper good for Wazowski. Wazalewski. Wazalewski is what they're saying over the PA. I'm not sure if that's right, but
close enough.
I'll try to remember it. I'm sorry if that's not how you say your name, Nick, but
well, at least we don't have to spell it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Runner was off the mark by Stewart, and another turnover by the Indians to give the Bulldogs another possession. 3 good games last night. New Madrid took out Dexter. Then it was Cape taking out Poplar Bluff. And then the upset of the night, Kennett, the 7th seed, gave a loss to Notre Dame, the 2 seed. Peyton, a dribble drive, left-hand finish. It was good. Peyton's first bucket of the game. Sikeston extends the lead back up to 4, 9-5. About 3.5 minutes gone here in this first quarter.
There's a nice pick.
Yeah, Leroy Atkins did a good job in a step-back 3, and he got it. And Coach Darren Scott wants to take his first time out. We'll take it with him. 4:16 left, first quarter action. Sikeston leads it 12-5. Chris Hotchkiss, Marty Williams back here from the field house. Sikeston leads at 12-5 midway in this first quarter. A couple long-range threes by Leroy Atkins has extended this Bulldog lead. Their biggest of the first quarter, 7 now.
Sikeston showing some great defense so far, Chris.
Yeah, you know, they haven't really had a lot of trouble with the press in the backcourt. It's once they get in the front court, the Bulldogs kind of ratchet up the pressure, and that's what's gotten them. Shot off the mark, and we're going to get a tie-up on a jump ball. going to go to Sikeston.
You know, right when I say they were playing good defense, they
Yeah.
come down and score on us. So.
Bulldogs being
It's nice that Clark could give us that option on the point out there.
nice dish from Stewart to Kenyon Smith with the wraparound. I was going to say the Bulldogs being very patient, picking their spot of when they want to attack the basket. Lead back up at the 7. Good job by Clark rotating over. 3 ball off the mark. Good rebound there by Ernst, though, for the Indians, giving them another shot here. Top of the circle, thought about a 3. Now a dribble drive penetration. Bulldog fans thought he got away with a walk, but turned it over nonetheless. Got an email in from JT Jones, Bulldog alum. He was a Class 4 Player of the Year. JT, want to give a good luck shout out to the Bulldogs. Good to hear from JT.
We got to watch him play a lot of basketball here. Excellent
No doubt
player.
about it. Stewart count the bucket and the foul. Clark's second field goal of the game, and he'll have a chance to complete the 3-point play.
Matthew Bumpus. To the line, shooting 1, number 40, Clark Stewart. Entering the game for Jackson, number 3 and number 14.
Biggest lead of the night now at 9. And it stays there as that free throw's off the mark. And they're going to say it went off at Jackson. It was, couldn't tell who it was in. I think it was Reynolds down there battling along with Lontez McClinton. Now they're going to reverse the call and say it's Indian basketball.
I got to agree with him.
Yeah, it was a long way from us, so kind of hard to tell, but I thought it was probably Indian basketball too. I'll always take it, though.
Yeah, me too.
Another turnover. Lontez McClinton wants to lead the break. Now he'll slow it down. Good decision right there by McClinton. Good-looking junior for the Bulldogs. Couldn't get it to go. Could Peyton. Good save by Clark into the hands of Leroy. In and out, no good. Loose ball. Finally going to come away with by Kenyon Smith, and he turns it over. And we're going to get a push on Kenyon. Maybe a little bit of a bell out there, as Crowden was out of control, but they'll say Kenyon gave him a little shove from behind.
Going to the line for Jackson, number 14, Lane Crowden.
2 free throws coming up for Crowden. First one off the mark.
For Sikeston, number 25, Kobe Henson.
Again, we've got the email up and going. It's in the upper right corner, webcast at sikestonr6.org. If you want to send us an email, we'd like to hear from you. Crowder misses on both. Clinton gets a rebound. Montez couldn't finish, and Leroy couldn't handle the offensive board. 16-7's a score. $140 left in this first quarter. And too easy right there is Crowden as the Bulldogs let him go. They lost where Crowden was, and that was an easy shot. Leroy Atkins, that's his third 3 of this first quarter, isn't it, Marty?
That's right. He's got 9.
Pushes the lead back up to 10. Sikeston leads it 19-9. Nice cut by Crowden. He's got 4 now for Jackson. Inside a minute. Peyton, a little runner, wouldn't go. Nice clear there by Clayton Ernst. Ernst, a 6'8 freshman for Coach Darren Scott. Talking with the Jackson radio announcer before the game, and they're high on Ernst, even as a freshman. Looking for good things for him. Long range three off the mark by Crowden. And it's going to go off of Peyton's hands and stay right here, as they were trying to get Ernst down low, but Howard knocks it out of bounds. It'll stay with the Indians right underneath us.
6'8 freshman.
8-point Bulldog lead, yeah, 6'8 freshman.
It's a big boy.
Yeah, it's a big boy. Fall away jumper, good. Nice little shot by Luke Reynolds. Reynolds is the only returning starter. Both of these squads graduated 4 starters from last year's team. Peyton Howard, the only returning starter for the Bulldogs, and Luke Reynolds, the only returning starter for the Indians. So they got it down to 6 after Sikeston enjoyed a 10-point lead. See what Peyton Howard wants to do here. Gets it to Clark. He'll drive in. Floater off the mark. Followed by Nick Harrison, no good. Coach Hollifield wanting a foul. Not going to get it, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. Sikeston leads it 19-13. You're watching Sikeston Bulldog basketball in the SEMO Conference Tournament on SPS TV. Chris Hotchkiss and Jeff Williams now, as Jeff got here about a quarter late. He had to go take care of administrative duties over at the school board meeting, so Marty was giving us a little color commentary during that first quarter. Marty's going to stick around and do the stats for us, so appreciate Jeff jumping on here. We got an email during the break from Chris Baker. He said good luck to the Bulldogs and hoping they bring home another SEMO Conference championship.
Chris, it's good to be with you. The in-game analysis will go up another level now that Marty is off.
That's just wrong. Turnaround jumper, a little short. Loose ball is going to be controlled. Let's see, that's going to be Bulldog basketball in the alternating possession.
Good hustle by Nick Harrison getting on the floor. That's what Coach Hollifield likes to see.
Sikeston led by as many as 10 late in that first quarter, but Jackson ended that quarter on a 4-0 run. Gage Rowing got in at the quarter, his first action of the game. Gage looking for some help.
Jackson's content to sink back in that zone.
Nice dump down to Kenyon Smith, who got the bucket.
Nice look by Peyton.
That's 4 points in the game now for Kenyon coming off the bench. Kenyon, a good-looking 6'1 senior for Coach Hollifield.
Yeah, Kenyon is a valuable part of that Bulldog bench. He provides that energy, always playing great defense.
Little high-low action, but couldn't finish there, could Ernst. Peyton, free throw line jumper. I think he got a little piece of that one, partially blocked. Hard to see as far away as we were, but that's what it looked like.
Yeah, it looks like Jackson post player got a hand on it.
Very patient are the Indians. 3-ball rattles home for Luke Reynolds. Cuts the lead down to 5. Nice look from Kenyon to Nick Harrison. Coach Darren Scott wanted a charge on Kenyon.
Very unselfish play by Kenyon Smith.
Nice hands by Kenyon, but they couldn't save it.
Multiple substitutions for the Bulldogs. Lontez McClinton, Leroy Atkins, and Kobe Henson enter the game, staying out there with Peyton Howard and Clark Stewart.
Luke Murley also checked in for Jackson. You got to think Murley, his dad's probably the volleyball coach, right, is my thought. That three in and out, no good, but Murley gets the rebound on a loose ball. Dave Murley, a Jackson volleyball coach, very good volleyball coach in the Southeast Missouri area. Got to think that's probably his son. Long range three, left short. And a rebound by Ernst as he just went up and over Lontez. I think Lontez mistimed his jump just a little bit.
Well, what Lontez has to do right there is put his body into the taller player.
Exactly.
You got to block out, especially if the player's taller than you. I think Coach Hollifield was telling him just that as he was going back down to the other end of the court.
They'll close out on Leroy quick after he had those 3 threes. That entry pass was not very good, and here come the Indians. And a big block from behind by Leroy, and they're going to say Quinn Scott did not establish himself, so it's going to be out of bounds on him. Coach Hollifield calls out the play that he wants. 23-18 to score inside 5 minutes here in this second quarter. Nice cut by Peyton with the floater.
Well, it's set up by Clark Stewart working the high post area. Clark is such a good passer. He found Peyton cutting to the basket.
Coach Hollifield wanting to walk. Didn't get the call. It's going to be a bucket instead for Wazowski. Woo, nice look by Clark to Peyton.
Another nice pass.
Clark had a good start to the season with a triple-double on the road last Friday night.
Yeah, how many times, Chris, do you see your post player with 10 assists in a ballgame?
Yeah, you don't see that too often. You're right. Peyton's going to lead this break one on everybody. Couldn't finish. And Leroy's going to be tied up, and it's going to go to the Indians. Got another email in from Heath McGill wanting to give a shout out and say good luck to the Bulldogs. And then he said shout out to Matt Limbaugh, who is a Sikeston native that's living down in the Gulf Shores area now. Coaches at Bayside Academy, and said they had a big win last night on a buzzer beater. So Heath wanted to give a shout out to Matt Limbaugh on that buzzer beater W.
Congratulations to Coach Limbaugh.
Lontez McClinton picked up the foul, his first, only the second team foul against Sikeston. 2 free throws coming up for Bumpus. Missed the first one, he'll get a second.
Heath McCain checks in for the Bulldogs.
He's the 9th Bulldog to get in the game. Clark will bring the ball up in this set with Peyton over on the bench right now.
Yeah, a little breather here for Peyton. And Clark does a nice job as the distributor out there on the offense.
Turnaround jumper by Harrison off the mark. Loose ball. Jackson's going to come away with it. And a 2-hand jam by Wazowski. Cuts the lead down to 4. Hadn't been 4 in a while. 27-23 now. Bulldogs with the slim 4-point lead. Leroy Atkins a little long on that 3. And we're going to get a travel. Coach Scott says, hey, let's slow it down a little bit.
Kenyon Smith and Peyton Howard check back in for the Bulldogs.
Also number 5, Kenyon Smith.
27-23, Sikeston, 4-point lead with 2:48 left in the first half.
And Nick muscled up for the bucket, his first of the game. It's a lead up or back to 6 now. Chris Hotchkiss alongside Jeff Williams here. Glad you're with us. If you can make it out to the games, we'd like to see you. Wild shot off the mark. But if you can't make it, we'll be streaming each and every game right here on SPS TV's YouTube page. And we're going to get a double dribble on Peyton.
Entering for Jackson, number 33, Clayton Ernst.
That turnover gives it back to the Indians. Again, we get the web or the email going on the webcast tonight up in the top right corner of your screen, webcast at sikestonr6.org if you want to.
We like getting those questions.
Yeah, we got some last night, first round action. I've had some already tonight. It's always good to interact with the folks that are tuned in.
I think I submitted a question last night.
You did submit a question last night. Kenyon missed the easy bucket, and that'll give Coach Hollifield a couple more gray hairs.
Good hands by Peyton.
Knocks it out of bounds. It'll stay with the Indians. 6-point lead by Sikeston. 1:34 left in this first half. Been a pretty quick first half.
Sure has.
I shouldn't have said that. This is the last minute 30. It may take forever now. That'd be my fault if it does. Floater off the mark. Bulldogs couldn't control the rebound. Second and third opportunities.
Again, not a very good job by the Bulldogs blocking out.
Yeah, the taller Jackson team controlling the boards. Getting second and third opportunities.
Bulldogs are not a very tall team.
No. Clark's the tallest player at 6'4". Mid-range jumper by Peyton off the mark. Peyton's been cold in this first half. And another jam by Wazowski as the Bulldogs aren't getting back on defense, and the lead back down to 4. Leroy with the 3 from the top of the circle.
How many threes for Leroy, Marty?
That is number 4. Hit 3 in that first quarter, and he's kind of cooled off a little bit, but that was a good one. That was way too easy as the Bulldogs lost track of Ernst. 5-point lead and the basketball.
Bulldogs might hold for the last shot here.
I'd say they probably are.
Stewart and Howard will play pitch and catch up here. Run that clock down to maybe about 5 or 6 seconds. Leroy from 3, and it's good.
So Leroy Atkins will close out the first half with back-to-back threes and pushes the lead back up to 8. At the end of the first half, Sikeston leads it 35-27. You're watching the 2019 SEMO Conference Tournament on SPS TV.
Welcome back to the Sikeston Fieldhouse. We're going to run down the first half statistics for you. For Jackson, they have 27 points. Scott with 3. He had 1 3-pointer. Bumpus with 3. Crowden with 4.
Hey, Wazalewski.
Sounds good to me. Wazalewski with 8. Leading scorer for Jackson. Reynolds with 5. And Ernst with 4. And Jackson was 1 out of 4 from the free throw line. For Sikeston, Peyton Howard with 6. Montez McClinton with 2. Clark Stewart 4. Kenyon Smith 4. Nick Harrison 4. And the leading scorer for the Bulldogs with 5 3-pointers is Leroy Atkins with 15 points. Bulldogs 0 out of 1 from the free throw line.
To be Sikeston basketball to start this second half. John got an email from John Martin. Really appreciate Coach Martin from up in Jackson emailing us to let us know he's enjoying watching the game, and he's the one that let me know that it's Wazalewski.
Wazalewski.
I'm assuming that's how it is. I'm trying to read his email, but appreciate that info. We like to try to get as much correct as we can. Also got an email from Justin T saying it's Wazalewski, so I'll try to do a good job.
Wazalewski, 6'5" junior for the Jackson Indians.
Jackson coming off that championship run in football. Lost a heartbreaker in overtime. I know a lot of folks in the Southeast Missouri area, including myself and Jeff, were rooting for the Indians. We wanted to see them win it.
You bet.
They got a lot coming back for next year's Kobe Henson's 3-ball off the mark. And nobody rotated down, and an easy bucket for Wazalewski. Peyton, up and under shot wouldn't go. Step back 3 off the mark. And we're going to get a foul over the back on Clayton Ernst. Good position there by Montez McClinton.
Fouls on Jackson, number 33, Clayton.
Another email from Kevin Jones. Says he's watching from study hall.
Oh, okay,
Rooting
Kevin.
on the Bulldogs. Kevin, miss seeing you out there. I don't know if I believe that you're actually at study hall, but we'll go with that. No, Kevin's probably at study hall. I'm just giving him a hard time. Good student athlete, Kevin Jones. Floater in the lane, got it to go, got the friendly roll. Lead down to 4 now, 35-31. Glad you're with us here on the YouTube channel. Your home for every game in this SEMO Conference tournament. Nice cut by Montez McClinton and a better pass from Peyton Howard.
You betcha. Nice look by Peyton. And Montez was able to converted on that pass. Bulldogs have to do a better job on their interior defense. Too many easy shots by Jackson.
Going to get a reaching foul. I think they're going to get Leroy Atkins from behind.
His first team foul, number 1.
Number 1 on Leroy. First free throw good for Nick. Wazalewski. And he got them both. He'll cut the lead back down to 4. Been staying around 4 for a while. Sikeston got it up, but Jackson to get it right back down. 3-ball off the mark by Leroy. One of the few misses. He's missed a couple, but not many. Baseline jumper, in and out, no good. Put back wouldn't go. A third opportunity wouldn't go. Fourth opportunity finally goes. Jackson just dominating the boards on the far end. Had to get Nick Harrison up and into this game. Free throw line jumper, good for Peyton Howard. It's been a while since Peyton got a bucket to go, but he got that one, and Coach Hollifield wants to take a timeout. We'll take it with him. 5:12 left, third quarter action. Sikeston leads it 39-35.
Entering the game for Sikeston, number 33, Nick Harrison.
A couple more messages coming in. Chris Cota, his whole crew is at home watching us. Jeff Comer and his crew watching also from the house. The Blanchfield brothers, Seth and Sean, watching in. Sean's watching all the way from Virginia. Seth's down in school at A-State. And Trey Jenkins watching up from Illinois. We're going to get a push out front. I think they're going to get Kenyon.
Good to hear from those guys.
No doubt about it.
Team foul, number 2.
Heard from some Jackson fans also, so a lot of fans from both squads up there. Good hands by Clark, saves it in, and tracked down by Kenyon, and he's going to be fouled.
Good hustle by Kenyon there.
Yeah. Good hands by Clark to deflect it and then save it in, and Kenyon to notice and track it down.
Heads up play.
Jackson's number 23, Luke Reynolds, his first.
That's the first on Luke Reynolds as he gets that loose ball foul. Bumpus will check in for the Indians.
Number 12, Matthew Bumpus.
Sikeston with the 4-point lead and a basketball. Nick a little too strong. Clark's floater wouldn't go. Kenyon reverse layup wouldn't go. So Bulldogs had 3 opportunities there. Couldn't get it to go. All point blank, and nothing would fall. Floater, good off the glass. Luke Reynolds with a nice floater. Got the lead down to 2 now, 39-37.
See Jackson extending that defense a little bit, especially when Leroy Atkins has the ball.
Leroy's got some good range. He likes it a lot of times from out front.
Into the game for the Indians, number 32, Luke Murley. In for Sikeston, number 4.
Montez McClinton checks in for the Bulldogs, and Murley comes in for Jackson. 4-5 matchup here. The winner will move on to championship semifinal action Thursday night at 6 o'clock. So it'll be the first game Thursday night, the winner of this game. And they'll get the winner of the next game, which is Charleston and New Madrid. Ball went out of bounds off the Bulldogs, so it'll stay with the Indians. Jackson can tie it with a bucket or take the lead with a 3. Indians haven't led, I don't think, in this game at all. And we're going to get a travel on Nick. Bulldog fans wanted a foul, but they're going to get him with a travel, shuffled his feet. Good to hear from Brad Wendell. We hear from him about each and every year. Big Jackson supporter. He's ready to see what this young Jackson team can do this year. Corner 3, little long. Stewart couldn't control it, but Nick comes away with it. See what Leroy wants to do. He'll wait. Turn around by Lantes.
Nice shot by Lantes. Flashing to the high post, knocking down that jump shot.
Long range 3 off the mark, and he's going to step out of bounds. Is Murley trying to save it.
Got a message from Jeff Ross. He's tuning in. Said he's cheering for his New Madrid County Central Eagles tonight.
They don't play till later, Rossi. Come on, man. He better be rooting for the Bulldogs right now. 3 by Peyton Howard, short. Stewart's going to lead the break. Nice look down, but a better follow by Nick Harrison as Lantes McClinton couldn't finish, but a good follow by Nick.
Yeah, nice job, Nick.
And a good pass by Clark. Floater rattles home. That was Bumpus, and Coach Darren Scott wants to take a timeout. It's only a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. So 1:36 left in this game, or left in the third quarter, excuse me. Sikeston leads 43-39. They've got the ball and the 4-point lead coming out of this timeout. We'd like to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors. A lot of gold and silver sponsors that make these broadcasts happen. We appreciate all the businesses in and around Sikeston and Southeast Missouri area that pour money into the community and help make this possible. And a special thanks to Coach Steve Beidler and his crew, the digital media class. They do a phenomenal job with these webcasts. These are students that put this on in Coach Beidler's digital media class, and we'd like to thank them.
It takes a lot of people behind the scenes to put together a big tournament like this, and we appreciate everything that they do.
Sikeston Athletic Director Andy McGill. We know Coach McGill puts a lot of time and effort, but he'll be the first to tell you, just like you said, Jeff, it takes a lot of people to pull this tournament off, and they do a great job, do the Sikeston administrators, each and every year of this tournament. A little token pressure by the Indians. Nice look down low to Nick from Lantes.
Very unselfish play.
He's got 9 now. Sikeston student section came alive there for a second. Peyton knocks it out of bounds. Well, we had our first email wanting Marty back. Justin Tanner says he wants Marty back. What's up with that?
I don't know.
Marty says he's a smart man. Marty does a great job keeping us informed of all the stats.
Even though we don't know if they're accurate, but he does a good job.
No doubt about it. Goes off the hands of Lantes, and it'll stay with the Indians. Email from Chad Crow. Chad and Valerie probably at home watching. Appreciate the email from them. They appreciate the hard work of these students and being able to watch. They're big Bulldog supporters. And a steal by Peyton Howard, who will lay it up and in. Peyton's got 10 now. He gets in double figures. I believe that's the second Bulldog in double figures, right, Marty? And a long-range 3 by Murley. So Sikeston had it up to 8, but that 3 had cut it down to 5. The Bulldogs going to hold for the last shot here in Clark's hand. Baseline jumper by Harrison off the mark. 3 a count if it goes, but it's off the mark, and that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. Sikeston leads it 47-42. You're watching the 2019 SEMO Conference Tournament on SPS TV. Chris Hotchkiss, Jeff Williams back here to start fourth quarter action. It'll be Indian basketball to start this fourth quarter. We've had a good one here, 4-5 matchup. It's what you would expect. Sikeston the 4 seed in the tournament this year, Jackson the 5 seed. Bulldogs are the reigning tournament and conference champs. 3 ball off the mark, tracked down by Kenyon. Followed by Nick. Good job by Nick hitting the boards.
Nick Harrison has had a really good game.
Well, and that's what you get from Nick. You know, he's that guy that he's down low and he'll get in there and get after it and get those offensive rebounds and putbacks. He's done that here in this game tonight, and the Bulldogs have needed that. Harrison's played well. Baseline jumper rattles home for Luke Reynolds. And a bad turnover there for Sikeston. Jackson can cut it down even more, and they missed the dunk. And the bums give him a little bit after that missed dunk. And Nick's going to be fouled. Tell you, we've had very few fouls in this game. That's only the 5th foul called between either team in this second half. It's been a pretty clean game so far. 2 free throws coming here for Nick Harrison. Got the first one. Kathy Lake watching down in Springdale, Arkansas. Yeah, Kathy's always tunes into our broadcast and supports the Bulldogs. Short on the second one, but the Indians clear. 50-44, Sikeston. Good hands there by Clark, forcing that turnover. Peyton thought about a 3. Turnaround jumper off the mark by Harrison, but another foul. And I think they're going to get Ernst on that.
Ernst, just a freshman at 6'8".
Yes. Yeah, you were gone early in the first quarter. You hadn't made it from school board meeting yet. We were talking about him. First free throw off to mark. Talking to the Jackson radio guy, he said that Coach Darren Scott's very high on the 6'8 freshman. He's got a bright future for the Indians.
Yeah, if you have a freshman that's 6'8", you kind of expect him to maybe grow a few more inches.
When's the last time you've seen a Jackson team that didn't have a 6'8 guy on it? And when's the last time you've seen somebody 6'8 on a Sikeston team?
It's been a while.
Been a long time. 51-44 is the score. Open 3 in the corner, off the mark. Good save by Kenyon into Peyton. Peyton will pull up just inside the free throw line. He got it to go. lead up to 9 now, 53-44. Coach Scott wants a timeout. We'll take it with him. 5:57 left in the game. Bulldogs up 9. Chris Hotchkiss, Jeff Williams back here. We got Marty on the book for us, providing us the stats. Peyton Howard's got 12 for the Bulldogs. Leroy did not score in that third quarter, so he's still at 15. We need to get Leroy hot here at the end of this game.
You would think Coach Scott made that a point of emphasis at halftime.
No doubt about
it.
On
Leroy.
And we're going to get a double dribble against Jackson. It was Wazalewski. Turned around and wanted a little bit of an explanation from the official. Got it, and he said, okay, I'll go with that.
Jackson going to a man-to-man.
Yeah, I haven't seen them play man. They've been playing a tough zone.
Bulldogs are running their motion offense. Clark Stewart at the three-point line, running the high post area, and he drives to the basket with a nice left-handed shot off the backboard. Good for 2.
Hey, what I just tell you off air earlier that Clark needs to do?
You said Clark needs to take it to the basket.
I said he needs to take it to the basket, finish with that left. He's tough doing that. And if it's not there, pass it out. I'm glad he listened to me. Couldn't get the first one to go. Could Wazalewski, but he got the second.
Wazalewski's had a nice game.
Sikeston had an 11-point lead just for a little bit, but they got it back to 9.
Marty says Wazalewski has 18.
Wow. Didn't realize it was that many. He's had a very good game for the Indians.
See if Jackson stays in that man-to-man defense. Looks like they might do that, picking up at half court.
4.5 left in the game. Winner of this moves on to the semifinals Thursday night at 6 o'clock. They'll play the winner of the next game, which is Charleston and New Madrid. That game set to start about 15 minutes after the conclusion of this game. Nice cut by Clark. And we're going to get a blocking foul and 2 free throws coming up for the senior.
Nice look by Peyton Howard. See Clark Stewart cutting to the basket.
Dustin West from Dexter tuning in and watching. Dexter will play Notre Dame in the nightcap tonight. That game's scheduled for 8:30.
First free throws up and good by Stewart. Nick Harrison checks back in for the Bulldogs.
And Clark couldn't get the second one to go. 10-point lead, and Sikeston did not know that Crowden was back behind him. He was just back there snowbirding. Everybody was down here for the Bulldogs. But a good job running the floor by Harrison. Boy, Nick has played well here tonight.
What's Harrison got, Marty? 14.
Wow. Career high for Nick. He had 8 in the winner against Confluence Prep on Friday night. Runner off the mark. Harrison couldn't control the rebound. Ball on the floor. We're going to get a foul. I think they're going to call it on Nick. He was laying on his back, and they're going to get him with the foul. Coach Hollifield said, you got to be kidding me. He said he was laying down, and you're going to call the foul on him?
Just a hustle play right there by Harrison.
90 feet away from us, so we didn't have a very good look at it. And now we're going to get a foul, and I think they're going to get Wasilewski took down Clark.
Just the 16th foul on Jackson, so not in the bonus yet.
So next foul against the Indians, and the Bulldogs will be in the bonus. Sikeston with the 10-point lead, 3:29 left in the game.
Bulldogs. Coach Hollifield yelling out the offense, wanting them to be patient.
I think they thought Peyton was just going to hand it off, lost track of him, but did a good job, did Reynolds recovering.
Turnover by the Bulldogs.
And lost it on the way up, did Wasilewski. I think he was going to throw it down and kind of lost it on the way up. Clark with the pump fake in the finish. Lead up to 12 now, biggest lead of the night by the Bulldogs. Clark's got 9. Corner 3, got it. That's a big shot by Quinn Scott to kind of stop this Bulldog run. We'll wait and see. It is going to be a full timeout, so we'll take it with them. 2:36 left in this game. Sikeston leads it 60-51.
Again, Matthew Marks, please move your 2015 white Ram pickup.
Chris Hotchkiss, Jeff Williams, back here with you. Fourth quarter action of game number 1 for tonight. Marty on the books for us. 3 Bulldogs in double figures, Marty, is that right? 3 Bulldogs in double figures.
Stewart drives to the basket, not able to convert.
Yeah, couldn't finish, but a nice look, and good job stepping in the passing lane by Lontez McClinton. Looking down low for Nick, and a nice save by Crowden. Good defense getting back by Clark, and it'll go off the Indians. It'll be Bulldog basketball. And Coach Darren Scott did not like that call at all.
Jackson has missed some layups here in the last couple minutes that could have really made this a tight game.
9-point lead and the basketball inside 2 minutes. Reynolds really extending out on Peyton, playing very good defense. Nice crossover dribble. Floater wouldn't go. Here comes Reynolds. He wants to push it. And they're going to get Peyton on the
Hand
reach
check.
in, yeah.
Just the 3rd team foul on the Bulldogs. 4th team foul.
It's going to be timeout, Sikeston.
Coach Hollifield wants to take a timeout. We'll keep it right here. It's only a 30-second timeout. Justin Tanner talking about how Clark's probably the smartest player on the floor most nights. I'm not going to disagree with that statement.
Clark has such a high basketball IQ. He's like another coach on the floor. He has a lot of game experience. So does Peyton Howard. They're both really intelligent students and basketball players.
And Coach Hollifield talks about that, about those two being out on the floor, two floor generals, and they can really, take control out there. That's that senior leadership coming through. Still a 9-point lead by the Bulldogs, 1:38 left.
See what Jackson wants to do out of this timeout. Only down 9. There's time.
I'm
for
a
the
minute.
Indians.
I'm 1:38, Jeff, away from. As soon as this game's over, I'm gonna go get some cookies in the hospitality room. You're not gonna find better cookies than what you get back there in that hospitality room.
Tell you what, forget the cookies. I'm going for the meal. I'm starving.
Are you?
I haven't eaten yet, buddy.
That's a 15 foul against the Bulldogs. Second on Leroy Atkins. So still 2 fouls to give before Jackson shooting free throws. They'll close out on Scott. It's kicked out of bounds by McClinton.
Got to close out on Scott, just like you said. They got to find where the shooters are.
Skip it cross court. Reynolds a dribble drive, and he's going to be called for the travel. Sikeston student section, I think, helped out with that call.
They helped with the call, helped Coach DeBen out.
Into the game for Jackson, number 3, Michael.
Experienced officiating crew that we have here tonight. I don't know if you mentioned that earlier, Chris.
Did not. Good point. Got some very good officials in this SEMO conference tournament.
Good look by Nick Harrison.
Yeah.
Finds Lontez McClinton cutting to the basket. Same thing by Jackson.
Yeah.
Nice drive.
Good cut by Lane Crowden for the easy 2. Inside a minute now. And the Bulldogs will look to slow it down with the 9-point lead and the basketball.
Got a foul. Peyton Howard's going to go to the line for the 1-and-1.
Number 23, Luke Reynolds. His second, team foul, number 7. Towards the line for Sikeston, shooting 1-1. Number 2, Peyton Howard.
Peyton Howard yet to shoot a free throw in this game tonight. And he rattles home the first one, so he'll get the bonus.
Yeah, nice touch there by Peyton.
He kind of willed that one in. He was
Yeah.
leaning into it, got it to go.
Hit the front of the rim, the back of the rim, and then through the net.
I think it hit the side, too.
Yeah. Knocks down the second one.
Lead back up to 11 now, 64-53. Near steal by Harrison. Runner wouldn't go for Murley. Sikeston does not have to shoot, but they'll go ahead.
How about the game by Nick Harrison?
Clark with the steal and the save. Long range 3 off the mark. And now we're going to get a offensive foul. Wazalewski didn't like that call, but he did kind of duck his shoulder. And when you duck your shoulder like that, you're probably going to draw a little bit more attention to yourself. So he got the offensive foul call. That's his third. And it looks like Jackson's going to be content to go ahead and let the Sikeston Bulldogs dribble this one out, and Sikeston wins it. Your final 66-53. So Sikeston will move on to championship semifinal action. They will play the winner of Charleston and New Madrid, which is the next game up. That game will be Thursday at 6 o'clock. Jackson will fall to the consolation side of the bracket. The Indians will play Wednesday night, so tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, they will play the loser of the Charleston and New Madrid game. So that'll wrap it up here for game 1 of the night. Again, the 4-seed Sikeston Bulldogs move on with a 66-53 victory. So we'll step aside. We'll let Mr. Byler get the stream ready for the next game, and we'll come back with Charleston and New Madrid County Central.